Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. Yes, it's another day after another loss. These are sad times indeed. I'm Jerry.
It's deja vu.
It is deja vu. I'm Jerry. With me, as always, is Edward, or as usual, is Edward. And joining us for the first time today, hovering in the air in David's place, is Max. All right, Max, thanks a lot for being here, man.
You're now the interim manager for now. Or you're interim David.
I'm a David Ingram. I'm a caretaker manager.
Now, the hope is you'll be on more frequently, which would be awesome if you can. So just for you people out there who are watching / listening, Max, you may recognize his voice from late last night on Talk Sport, where he gave an instant match reaction on behalf of the Toffee Blues, which is awesome and really cool because I'm in America and I know what Talk Sport is, and it's kind of a big deal. So there's that. Also, Max writes numerous pieces for the Toffee Blues website, and if you do as we say every time we have a video, you should recognize him. All right. So let's talk Lyon, gentlemen. We go down 3-0. Quick little first thoughts for you. Max. You want to get us started?
Well, I think compared to other Evertonians, I think I'm quite the optimist because I think for the first hour, 70 minutes, I think that's the best Everton performance I've seen in a long, long time. Defensively, I think we were solid. I think when we didn't have the ball, there was clear. I mean, Gylfi was very isolated up front, but it was very clear 4-5-1. Not much confusion amongst the players. I think they've responded well under Unsworth in terms of sticking to their position. Given that we had a right back playing at left back and we had an attacking midfielder at number 9, I mean, I think that's the best that we can probably get out of the squad currently. But as I say, 60 minutes, 17 minutes, I think we were very disciplined. But the last 20, 30 all fell apart.
Okay. All right. Edward, what do you think, bud?
See, I didn't get to watch the first couple of minutes. I was away with family, so we were driving down. I got lucky to be able to watch most of the remaining 70 minutes, which were okay. I mean, like you say, Max, the first 70 minutes we looked and sounded really good. I mean, Pickford sounded like he had a blinder of a game to start with, and I personally think he was one of our best performers on the match, and that's saying something. That is really, really saying something, because like you say, Sigurdsson isn't the natural striker. He's done it a couple of times for Swansea. He's done well there, but he's just way too isolated, and it's basically just having a taller Wayne Rooney up front with no pace, can hold up the play. All right, he did well sometimes, but he wasn't the best, and he's not what we can have up front. I think Lookman had a very good game, in my opinion. I think Lookman had a very good game, and Vlasic looked like he could do something, but I think it was just a bit too late when he came on. And it's sad to see that I think we just completely lost track of it once that. It was just sort of luck, really. It was blind luck against us for that. You know, the ball could have bounced anywhere else and we would have been fine, but it had to bounce there, and he picked it up. And of course, it was that little thing, Traore, getting the goal. So,
the first half reminded me a lot of our first half against Chelsea in the Cup recently. You know, we had very few chances on goal, if any. I can't specifically remember and recount an incident where we had a legit shot or chance on goal in the first half. I just can't. And it's exactly the way the Chelsea game was, where I think both games we were set up for stability, set up for a draw. You know, I think Max and we were talking about it earlier. You know, it seemed like that's what we're looking at. And the tactics, I can't completely blame the tactics in that first half, other than the Sigurdsson where he was set up. That's where I would, I don't know. I think you can argue for it and you can argue against it.
I feel that is the best that we could get out of the squad at our disposal, because there were no outstanding attacking quality in that team, with the exception of Sigurdsson, who was isolated, who wouldn't win a ball if it was launched up to him. There was no attacking quality. There was heart in the performance, I'd say. Definitely an awareness that we needed to be disciplined and we needed to keep them out. But as I say, last 20-30, the first goal goes in, as Edward said, bounce to the ball, and as Evertonians, you used to not having luck. So, I mean, bounce to the ball, it goes against us, they score, and Everton fall apart.
Right. So let's just, we've discussed mentality in the past on this show, and Max, you and I were talking about it earlier. It's the same song that we've heard many times. Everton come out, play defensively solid, maybe not get that many chances, then beginning to grow a little bit in the game, and then they give up a goal, and then all of a sudden the rug has been pulled out from under them, and that's it. And they're on the ground and they're yelling, "Please don't hurt me,"
Yeah.
And that's it's just happened before, and it's a mentality thing, and it's not changing overnight. It's just not going to.
Do you think the result would have been different if Gay actually scored that shot?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel, but that's something that when that opportunity popped up for Gay, that kind of something clicked for me. If you've noticed, especially this season, if you've been watching Gay, I don't know what it is. He thinks he's Frank Lampard or something. He tries having a pop from 25 yards every 10 minutes, and he's not that type of player. And I just feel that maybe the two defensive midfielders need to change, because maybe if we try and adapt Klassen into that role, because what I feel is unfair for Klassen is a lot of our fans just think he's an overpriced Naismith, but if you've seen him at Ajax, he's got the ability to get forward and strike from distance, which Gay can't.
Well, I think maybe the whole thing behind it is that obviously you've got the comparison from last season. It was Gay v Kante. I think maybe something's got into Gay's head about the fact that Kante actually managed to get a couple of goals to his name, and he's thinking, well, hang on, I'm better than Kante. Maybe I should be trying to score a couple more goals as well. I think he's already got one to his name, hasn't he? It was in Europe. It was in one of the qualifiers, wasn't it? Yeah. So, and as well, I mean, if he can score a couple of goals, that would mean a lot. And I actually think we should let him sort of do that, because he's going to be taking a lot of shots, but he'll learn, and he could be a very solid player if he can learn to basically shoot. But,
I do think that's it. I think it's great if he learns to shoot. I think that's the one flaw in his game, that if he not even if he perfects it. I mean, because some, especially at Goodison, I think it was against Burnley where I picked up a lot. They're not even on target. They're going wide, or they're well over the bar.
But guys, do you think that maybe he's having a pop so often because we have no chances on goal, and he just wants us to put something on frame, just anything? I mean, if I were in any of their shoes, I would be ridiculously frustrated, because, I mean, when's the last time we actually scored a goal from outside the box? That's so rare for us right now, and also chances are just at an absolute premium right now. We can't literally buy a shot very often.
Rooney's against Arsenal.
That's right. That's right. I was also thinking like Rooney's preseason goal against that
Gilfie's.
Yeah, Gilfie's. Yeah, but that's
Of course.
Gilfie's was an absolute aberration. Oh my gosh. But anyway, so there's not many. There's not many. Even Ross stopped like shooting from distance at the end.
Here's a question that especially since our form's dipped massively, and granted he's out injured, but if a fit Ross Barkley gets himself together and ups his confidence, do you think he'd get in the team?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't even think about it. Yeah, definitely.
Because I think the dilemma with Ross Barkley is obviously we had Martinez, and under Martinez, I think Ross Barkley was overexposed from all corners. Media on the pitch. There was a lot of responsibility put on his shoulders from Martinez, which I feel. I know a lot of players say, "Oh, he's not a kid anymore," but granted, he's still a young player. I feel you've got to let him play out his mistakes, and so and then Koeman comes along, and it's like the complete other end of the spectrum. We, heavy criticism, dropping him, and I remember we played Man City away, and he was dropped, and then he came back into the squad after that, and he put a good few performances together, and then obviously injuries and criticism from the manager. I think Ross is quite sensitive to criticism, so he's a local lad. He's an Evertonian, and I think everyone wants to see Ross do well. So
So guys,
apart from the butthurt ones who want Martina injured for the whole season or something like that, that was wrong.
I can't even give that any kind of the fact that there were that many people just being that classless on social media is ridiculous. But really quick, guys, because we gotta motor through this. So these are some kind of more rapid fire questions. Do we feel like if that was, because that was a must-win game for us, okay? And it seemed like things went very downhill when he went away from that more defensive formation, right? So if we had continued to play for the draw, do we think we actually get that draw? Edward, what do you think?
I think, to be honest, I think he probably would have got the draw, but we didn't want to draw at that point. We needed a win, so we kind of had to go out of that formation.
Oh no, you're very right. It's more. I guess it's more that if we needed a different result, because that's what we absolutely had to, and that's why he tweaked. Max, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we would have got the draw. But what I think the key moment in the game was Lyon took Nabil Fekir off, and I think when Fekir came off, I think Underwood's eyes lit up, and he thought, with their star player coming off, maybe that is an opportunity to become more attacking and press them a lot more. And lo and behold, the lads who came on for Fekir ended up scoring.
Yeah, I was talking to Alain from Social Gomes, who's a big, huge Lyon supporter, and he told me from the very first time I talked to him, he said Awar is a special talent, and he's starting to play more. And of course, he sat there and put that one side netting, and it was a really well placed goal. But I just wish we were pressuring him to make that tougher. Somebody pressuring that shot. Anyway, so a thumbs up or thumbs down to Unsworth's tactics and substitutions. All right,
I feel like the substitutions he made they made sense, but it was a bit like the wrong point of the game. If he'd maybe done it at maybe half time, I think that would probably have worked in our favour a bit more. Like maybe instead of taking Gay off, he should have really taken Schneiderlin off.
Agreed.
Because he was just a loose cannon.
Yes.
And what has happened to him?
So you would say this, Edward, for tactics?
I'd say
tactics
that.
I want to say that too, but that's not the question.
Yeah, actually, no, I would say that. If it was at a different time, I would be all...
Okay. What do you think? What do you think, Max? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs down.
Down.
Thumbs down. I mean, I've got ambition from a football club, and if you set up for the draw, if that is your ambition within the 90 minutes, that's something you've got to stick to. You've got to. You can't. Like I say, I think the Fekir substitution was a key moment in changing the tactics. So you can't afford, as a manager, to allow such opportunities to change your whole mindset.
Okay.
So I'll give it a thumbs down, because at the end of the day, we finished the game 3-0 down and with 10 men on the pitch.
Yeah.
So
see, I wanted to do what Edward said and do the sideways thing, but I can't do that. So I'm going to have to say thumbs down as well, if only just because I wish DCL had been starting. I think that would have made us more dynamic, and I think we would have won more balls in the air, and I think he could have held up play a lot better than Gylfi did. And I'm not a fan of the decision to not take out Schneiderlin, because he already had a yellow card, and he got one early. And I didn't think he was impressing enough to stay in, to be honest.
The two yellow cards as well. Like I was saying to you before, Jerry, the 2 yellow cards were stupid bookings. The first one was a discussion with the referee, and I think for a professional footballer to get booked for conversation with a referee, I think immature, and that is not a word you should be associating with Morgan Schneiderlin.
That's right.
In the squad that we had out, he was one of the more senior players.
He was.
So, and I think Beningame, I think if you were watching Everton for the first time, you'd probably think that Beningame was the more experienced of the midfield, because he had a lot more discipline in his performance than you say Schneiderlin.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a question. Would you... A lot of people are saying Schneiderlin should be sold in the January window, which I think might be a bit harsh. But, so if Schneiderlin was sold, would you want Benengime as his replacement, or would you bring in someone else?
Bring in someone else, because I think if we do sell Schneiderlin, like I say, I think we need to drop the 2 defensive midfielders. We need to change our dynamic in the midfield, because the 2 defensive midfielders just isn't working. Especially at home, when you should be trying to get a good result. The 2 defensive midfielders are squandering so many opportunities, where I feel the likes of a Ross Barkley or a David Klassen, if given the confidence, could perform.
I think it depends on who's playing center back, whether or not we run three defensive mids.
I thought that was a bit weird.
Well, it's because we had a Holgate's back there who actually does have some quickness. All right, which I was a little surprised he went with 3 in the middle when I saw Holgate was starting. But Ashley Williams has lost pace. Jags has lost pace.
Even though he's meant to be one of the quickest.
He used to be, right? You know what I mean? But you still... anyway, it's frustrating to see, but I understand him running 3 defensive mids when we have our slower center backs in. But when he's got some quickness, if Keane or Holgate are in there, I agree with... I don't know. But I think for a little while, he's going to have to go more defensive, because we need draws. We just need clean sheets to start off with. Any kind of points right now to get confidence.
I think something that's worth noting as well is, I think ever since Martinez came in, our defensive line has changed dramatically, because for a long time our back 4 easy as day, like Seamus Coleman right back, Jags and Distam centre back, and Baines at left back, and that was a very good back 4. Yep. It was a solid back 4. But now, obviously, we had, it pains me to say, but the thing we had with John Stones, I mean, as for all his mistakes he made at us, I think he's showing now at Man City how good of a player that he is. So with John gone as well, we couldn't really find stability with John and Jags. So now I think we've got Ashley Williams, Michael Keane, and Phil Jagielka. So there's three there.
Don't forget that we've got 2 players that are injured and 1 we can't bring into the squad. We've got Garbett, who we can't bring in until January. Funes Mori's currently injured. Coleman's currently injured. So I think really our defence is going to be tested when we've got a solid back 4 that are completely healthy. So I don't mind Baines being in. I don't mind Kenny being in for now. Coleman when he comes back. Keane and I think Funes Mori need to be all playing. Funes Mori / Jags in that other position.
I don't know. I sort of think we're going to be playing for draws and 1-0 victories until January when we can get some more striker talent and center back help, unless Funes Mori comes in, because that's when he's supposed to be healthy again. All right, guys. So this is a little different. I think this is kind of cool. We actually had a comment from a Lyon supporter with a question for David, because David was able to actually go the game in France. So here's the question. It is from Petro Porto. And Petro Porto says, I'm really interested to have the feedback of David about the atmosphere on the stadium in Lyon last night. I was there and it was absolutely amazing. It was a pleasure to play those 2 games against you guys. Good luck for the rest of your season. Winking smiley face. All right? So David was unable to film today because he's traveling, but he was able to respond via message to me, and now I give it to Petro and everybody else. David says, I'm sure it was a pleasure for you, my friend. You won both games, ha ha ha. The atmosphere was great throughout the city as a whole, but that's Everton fans for you. They travel in their thousands for days like this. I'm glad there was no major trouble too. The light show pre-kickoff went down well with Blues, but there was an element of frustration at the amount of empty seats while so many Blues couldn't get tickets whilst being over there. In all, a good trip, but it would have been better if Everton were not in this terrible form. After the draw, I saw Everton and Lyon to be the pick of the group, but we did not deliver. All right, so that's David's response to Petro Porto. All right, which is cool. Little viewer-listener interaction. Like it. So yes or no answer, because we got to run. Is it a blessing to be out of Europe? Max, yes or no? No. Edward, yes or no?
No.
I'm going to be contrarian and say yes, even though I absolutely love Europe, and I'm so sad we're out, and it breaks my heart. But you know what? We have to start getting healthy and getting results. So I'm just going to say yes, because someone has to. Anyway.
Yeah.
That is
we need
it.
to build on it.
Anyway, that's it. That's our Lyon reaction. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're digging our videos, please subscribe. Makes us feel fuzzy inside. Like our videos. Leave comments. We want to hear from you. We want to know who you are. We want to have a conversation. All right? Please check out Edward's YouTube channel, Jam E. James. Details are below. Also, Max is putting out all kinds of content for the Toffee Blues website, so check that out as well. All right? Guys, thanks so much, and we'll talk to everybody later. We're going to go make another video. Bye.
Adios.
Bye.